So you're probably thinking to yourself before you watch this week's episode, how are they going to top the battle between Rock Lee and Shira? Well, this is how they're going to do it. Kiba, Shino, and Hinata fighting against the 3 grass ninja who have the ability to summon a massive sunglasses-wearing mole who then forces the team to literally swim through a whirlpool of sand and Akamaru's piss. This is all stitched together by stilted and crappy animation, so prepare to get excited. So I don't want to spend this entire review just completely dogging this week's episode, because that would be way easy to do, because the animation this week was just not that good. And it could be just the repeating animation from Hinata's attacks, or just the way that Kiba's body just looked when he was moving and running around on all fours. It just looked really awkward as the entire episode was going on. But I still loved the creativity, in particular, of the 3 ninja they were fighting against this week, because they're all very distinct from one another and they have some pretty crazy abilities. So let's just talk about them. First, there's Kazami. He's definitely the one I was most interested in at first, because he has the pompadour. And pompadour characters are always hilarious. However, he's basically just kind of like your generic flag girl. But that's only because he has this big flag with this big weird spear at the end of it. And again, just like Hinata, he basically just spins it around the whole time and they repeat that animation. And then you have the other big guy, Barami. And his whole shtick is that he's like a combination of multiple characters. He kind of reminds me of the Blob from X-Men, Majin Buu, and Bacterian from Dragon Ball as well, because his whole thing is he uses his body odor to attack people. And this is where the episode just sort of kind of de-evolves into almost a comedy at this point, and kind of makes me kind of disappointed in Shino, because of all the characters in this week's episode, he is the one who is used the least. He's basically just hanging out in the background most of the time, and when they get hit by that one big breath attack from Barami, he's on his back the entire time. Why are there not massive droves of freaking parasitic insects flying through the sky like a freaking plague trying to eat these guys and rip their faces apart? We've seen him do all this crazy stuff before, and this would have been the perfect opportunity for Shino to really show off. And it almost goes in that direction, because there's a scene where they summon this big mole, which is honestly my favorite part about this week's episode, mostly because of the design of the creature. I like the sunglasses, and it's just cool to see another summon. But Shino actually tries to chase them with his bugs, but the mole notices, and this leads to this big chase scene where Akamaru and them are trying to slam into them, but really, it just doesn't go anywhere. And this is basically just another setup episode for another battle between these two teams. I just wish the animation could have been a little more competent. So, what's the rundown? On this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, it was a pretty average episode of the series, which had some creative things going for it, but the artwork and the production just really fell apart in this one. And that's such a shame, because last week's episode ended so strong. And the fact that we were finally getting into Kiba's team got me really excited, because they're one of the less showcased teams in the series, and this was an opportunity to do something with them. And basically, they're just playing up their stereotypes. Whenever Hinata's around, she's just mentioning Naruto. Kiba's just trying to be the de facto leader, and as typical, Shino's kept in the background away from the viewer's eyes. It's kind of annoying. But there is creativity in the ninja that they're fighting against. My favorite member of the group originally was Kazami, mostly because of the hairdo. But I really love the character of Murami. He's the guy who's like the mole guy. He has these weird blades on his hands, and he even burrows around in the ground, very similar to Zetsu, or even like Senor Pink from One Piece. And they actually use him in a crucial part of the episode to actually trick the team. And a scene that is kind of silly, because they take the scroll, and then they just stand there monologuing the entire time when they could have made a real quick escape. I was actually thinking to myself while watching it, this should be like a total ninja vanish moment. Freaking throw down the smoke bomb, run away, and that'll be the end of that. Despite that, though, this was still a pretty decent episode. I would much rather have a bad, crappy animated action episode than one when people are just walking around and doing nothing. I still prefer this over that, and I still have hope that they're going to do something interesting with this team, although the problem is this is like a prequel arc. We know what's going to happen. We know all the members of the team are going to end up being Chunin, so there's really, like, no tension there. But still, this was just an average episode of the series, which you should only check out if you are a super hardcore fan of Naruto. You've been reading the manga, watching the anime version. Check it out. I'm going to give this week's episode a 3 out of 5, and mostly just for the creativity of who they were fighting against, and that big mole. Multiple sunglasses kick ass. Check it out, guys. Good episode. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that like button. And before you guys leave, please tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden. I thought it was a pretty average episode, but did you guys love it? Did you hate it? Did you have a favorite action scene? What do you want to see from the rest of the brand new Chunin exam arc? And make sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media like Facebook and on Twitter. And also check out our brand new podcast show, The Powerful Nerdcast. I'll put a link for that in the description box below. Some cool ways you guys can help support our channel is by using our PayPal link. It'll be in the description box below. Or you could use our Amazon Associates link. If you guys ever buy anything on Amazon, like the brand new Space Dandy Season 1, you should definitely use our Amazon Associates link. Whenever you make a purchase, it'll actually help us out. But the best way to help us out is to simply watch our videos and share them with your friends. Thank you guys for watching. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.